All right, we are good to go.
Good morning. The time is 11 o'clock. It is Thursday, January 16th, 2025. This is the Biosolids Committee meeting. Bring the meeting to order. Roll call of officers.
Sylvia Wilson. Harry Reedshaw.
Here.
Darren Kelly.
Here.
That concludes the attendance.
Thank you. Informational items. A, contract number 1743 Biosolids Management Services, Grove contract extensions. Madam Director.
Mr. Chairman, we want to thank the committee for convening today. This is a committee that does not meet frequently, but that doesn't mean they're not powerful when they do. Biosolids management services are crucial to the operation of this facility, and it is a significant aspect of our reduce, reuse, recycle initiatives. This morning, we are going to have our manager of our residuals department, Bob Martier, give you an overview and an update on how we manage biosolids. And then we will get into the request for a contract extension. We are at a period where it would be beneficial to extend the provision of services that are currently taking place as we plan for what the future will bring. With that, I will turn it over to Mr. Martier. That is, unless the Director of Environmental Compliance would like to say something first. Michelle.
Thank you, Arletta. I'm on sound here. So thank you for the introduction. You said it well. And I just want to add that, Bob Martier we're fortunate to have him as our manager. He's overseen the program for over 25 years and has extensive relationships within that industry that bring the best services to ALCOSAN. So I just want to add that comment and then hand it over to Bob. Take it away, Bob.
All right. Well, thank you, Arletta and Michelle, for that awesome introduction. If we can do that every time, I'd be glad to give presentations every single day. All right. So with that in mind, I am Bob Martier, ALCOSAN's Residuals Program Manager. And before I jump into the update on the Biosolids Management Services contract, I wanted to start off with some background on our team and ALCOSAN Solids Processing. So the Residuals Department is part of the Environmental Compliance Division, directed by Michelle Buys. In addition to myself, the Residuals team includes 3 staff members. We have Megan Cieslak-Mazza, the Residual Specialist, Lorna Shea, our Agronomist, and Ken Bartek as our Administrative Support. Our core focus revolves around the beneficial use and disposal of ALCOSAN byproducts. With that in mind, what are our sludge management options at ALCOSAN? Well, we utilize 2 options. We have a lime stabilization process and an incineration process. We produce approximately 110,000 tons per year of biosolids. 55% goes towards incineration and 45% goes towards lime stabilization. I just want to back up a little bit because there's a lot of terminology. You'll hear sludge or you'll hear biosolids. Biosolids refers to our treated lime stabilized product, commonly known as ALCOSoil. Sludge, when you hear that in the industry, that refers to untreated solids collected from the wastewater treatment process. So going into the lime stabilized product that is named ALCOSoil, we beneficially use this material through our land application program in Ohio and Pennsylvania. And we also have approvals for disposal of this material at several landfills located throughout Ohio, Pennsylvania, and West Virginia. I think this is an appropriate picture to share today. It's snowy outside, but here we have nice green grass, blue skies, maybe even a little bit of sun in the background. But just wanted to pass through a few of these photographs where you can see our ALCOSoil material and typical equipment used to land apply our biosolids. Our contractor uses three main pieces of equipment. You can see the front end loader in the back, along with the tractor and manure spreader. Also on the left, you can see our product. That is the ALCOSoil. There's another great picture of the operation. Here is a standing shot of one of the operators land applying our ALCOSoil across the field. You can see we're not actually covering these fields, these pasture lands. It's kind of like the equivalent of if you had dirt in your hand and you just threw it out across the field. They're very small pieces. So now we're kind of going to get into the meat and potatoes of the focus today. I'm going to provide a brief update on contract 1743, which is the Biosolids Management Services contract, as well as recommend that we extend this contract for another 19 months. So what is a biosolids management contract? This is a full service contract that provides everything from transportation, permitting, monitoring, soil sampling, reporting, land application of the material, and disposal of the material that is managed by this contract. Roughly 30,000 wet tons per year of the 100,000 that we produce are managed by this contract. I don't remember if Darren was part of the committee the last time we met. I know Harry and Sylvia were here, but you might remember there were a number of minor changes to our contract last time, but we made one major change, and that was we split the contract into two pieces. Therefore, we have a summer contract, part one, which runs from April 1st through October 31st. We also have a winter contract, part two, which runs from November 1st through March 31st. This contract was originally awarded to Birch Hydro at the May 20th, 2021 board meeting, and contract services began on June 28th. Something interesting happened in January of 2023. Synagro, one of the two service providers that we have used for the past 30 years, actually purchased Birch Hydro. So on January 1st, 2023, Synagro acquired Birch Hydro, which was the contractor originally providing biosolids management services to us. Since that transition was smooth and we continue to receive good performance and services, we recommended that the board approve a one-year extension that began on April 1st, 2024. With that in mind, our services are now set to expire on March 31st of this year. Some cost highlights of the contract 1743. You can see the original bid prices shown by year one. You'll notice some of the interesting price changes for year 2 and 3. That's because the contract adjusts prices, and this is the unique part. It actually adjusts prices up or down based on the consumer price index for number 2 diesel fuel. So you can see the original bid price was $44.19 for land application. Year 2 was COVID time, and we had the huge spike in fuel prices, which drove it drastically up for year 2. And subsequently, as prices continued to fall for diesel fuel, so did our prices. You'll notice that the landfilling price, though, did not follow the same trend in year 4 as land application. That's because when this contract is bid, the landfills will lock in with contractors for that 3-year time period, but they will not extend beyond that term. Therefore, when we extended for year 4 last time, we are subject to additional costs from the landfills, which are then added on to our fees. So we just had a look at our existing prices from Synagro. Before recommending another extension, we wanted to kind of get a review of how our pricing compares to others in our area. Kind of make sure our costs are very competitive. So we did a survey of several individuals and organizations and found out that we are well below the regional rates for full service land application. We also discussed with a number of those people the landfill tipping fees. Our area in Western Pennsylvania is very unique. We have numerous landfills with adequate capacity, and we're just in a unusual zone that if you go 2 hours west or 2 hours east, those rates are much, much higher than what we have secured. Potential contract challenges. Unfortunately, there's a number of them. And that's one of the reasons why we're here today that spurred this additional extension of 19 months. Both Ohio and Pennsylvania are in the process of updating their land application regulations. The ALCOSAN's Ohio and Pennsylvania land application permits are both set to expire in 2025. And while we don't anticipate any issues, our dewatering building will undergo some major improvements starting in 2025. And then you might remember earlier I mentioned about Synagro purchasing Birch Hydro. So now we have less service providers at this time. And last but not least, PFAS. I'm sure you're well aware of that topic. It's been a huge thing to research and kind of move us forward. Per and polyfluoroalkyl substances, more commonly known as PFAS, these are a group of chemicals, thousands of chemicals that are found in many different consumer, commercial, or industrial products. It's a topic we're following closely as it could impact multiple aspects of ALCOSAN. Not only could it impact the biosolids program, it can impact our discharge to the Ohio River. It could impact our air emission systems, as well as numerous other industrial impacts. In fact, just this week, yesterday, we participated with EPA. There is a EPA draft risk assessment on PFAS and biosolids. So there will be a lot of upcoming information on that. Getting back to the terms of a proposed extension, late last summer, we started the negotiation process with Synagro, and we requested a 19-month extension at the existing terms and conditions. Synagro countered that, hey, we can't move forward without an increase. Therefore, after negotiating with them, we arrived at a price of $48.32 per ton for the land application process. On the landfill side, we ended up at a price of $80.63. In addition to that, we eliminated the diesel fuel pricing adjustments. So there will not be any winter or summer fuel pricing adjustments. What there will be, though, is a mutually agreeable sharing of the increase should diesel prices rise above $5 per gallon. That's if we go into another pandemic. There was, looking back at the history, there was a 7-month span back in 21 to 22 that we exceeded $5 per gallon. So that is kind of the safety valve for the contractor and the trucking company to continue on. All the other terms and conditions of the contract will remain the same. With that, I'm recommending the committee to take action to recommend approval to the board for contract 1743 for the extension of part 1 summer and part 2 winter. With that, I conclude my presentation, and if anyone has any questions, I'd be glad to answer them.
Thank you, Bob, and thank you very much for your hard work, and congrats to you and your team for always taking lead. Michelle, under your leadership, thank you so much. You make us all very proud. This is sometimes people forget how important your department is. So thank you so much. Listen, I feel very comfortable with the information you gave me. Harry, do you have any questions at all?
No, it was a good, excellent presentation, and I have no questions.
Thank you, sir. Saying that, let's move right into action item. Motion to recommend to the whole board approval of an extension of the following contracts. We'll read them individually. Contract number 1743, Biosolids Management Services, Part 1, Summer, with Senegro Central LLC, successor of Birch Hydro Incorporated, from April 1st, 2025 to October 31st, 2025, and April 1st, 2026 to October 31st, 2026. Madam Director.
I don't know that I could add anything to the excellent presentation and explanations and pleadings of Mr. Martyr, other than, I guess I could say, please, please, please.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, I'm going to ask for a motion to pull forward a recommendation to the whole board.
So moved.
All those in favor? Aye. Okay. Action item number 2, contract number 1743, Biosolids Management Service Part 2 winner with Senegro Central LLC, successor to Birch Hydro Incorporated, from November 1st, 2025 through March 31st, 2026. Madam Director, anything else to add?
Not a thing.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Motion to recommend
So,
moving forward.
so moved.
Second, all those in favor by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Okay, seeing no more action items on the agenda, we have no, Madam Director, we have any other new business?
Yes, sir, we do. Again, because the committee does not meet frequently, we just want to keep it on your radar that we will be coming back to talk about a solicitation for a strategic plan to be able to manage the program. Not that the program is doing poorly, it's running well, as you've indicated, as Michelle has indicated, under Bob's leadership. It is, this aspect of it is doing well, but it's an overall planning that we need to take a fresh look at. So we will be coming back to you probably early third quarter of this year to put more concrete thoughts before you. With that, we have no other business.
Thank you, Madam Director. Looking forward to it for the third quarter. With that, there is no other new business on the agenda, no other old business. And I'll ask for a motion to adjourn here.
So moved.
Thank you, everyone. Please be safe and watch yourself driving out there. Meeting's adjourned.
Thank you.
Thank you, committee.